Despite its size, it was still pretty high caliber. Hey guys, so this is my review for the season opener for Season 11 of Supernatural. Season 11. Can you believe it? It's been over 11 years since we started watching this together. I remember watching the first episode on City TV all those years ago. For those of you who don't understand City TV, that's a channel that's out here in Vancouver. So if you guys watched some of my previous videos, I did a video a little while back talking about how, while Supernatural has been pretty decent for the time it's been on air, it has quite possibly outlived its purpose, mainly because Season 5 ended so well, and it's kind of felt, while some seasons, not 6 or 7, but 8, 9, and 10 have felt good, they've kind of felt tacked on. So, despite that though, I have watched every episode, and I was excited for this episode. Despite the fact how I was a little bit upset at how the darkness was shoehorned in the season finale for Season 10, but as CW always does, they do fantastic trailers that totally make you want to watch it again, and my god, I did. So what is the darkness? I had the thought that it was going to be like those comics from Top Cow, but we actually really don't know what it is yet, which is interesting because sometimes, most times, when a villain or some sort of threat is revealed to us at the beginning of a season, mainly with Supernatural, we figure out pretty much who it is or what it is by the end. This, we still really don't know. We know that there is a woman who technically is the darkness, or says she is, and she and Dean are linked, and she says that I'm not going to hurt you because you set me free, and then she shows that she has the Mark of Cain, which is like, ooh. So the Mark of Cain not only is a seal, but it possibly means something else. It is more than just a seal or a lock. It means something more. It's much more of a personal and much more of a threat, possibly a weakness, in fact, that Dean has to survive for the darkness to survive, or vice versa. That might be something that's going to come up later on, is that the darkness, to defeat it, you have to kill Dean. My god, if we go through that again, that's going to be interesting. But the episode started off with this virus, this thing that was giving people really super black vein syndrome or whatever. And it really felt like a lot of season openers. Season 3, when the gates of hell were opened and all those demons came out and started infecting everyone. Season 5, when the devil came up and all shit started to get unleashed. And then episode something from the second season, which was the Wendigo episode. The episode even had a majority of it inside a hospital, which, again, very much like Wendigo. Castiel, poor guy, looks like he hasn't slept in ages, or he has a massive allergy attack with his eyes as he's walking around because he still has Rowena's curse in him. He just wants to hurt people, but Cass is just too nice, so he doesn't really hurt anyone. But he calls his angel bros, and they kidnap him, or something to that extent. What are they going to do? Because I don't understand what else the angels could do with Castiel. He's really their castaway child, but they always want to bring him back because he's a prodigy, but then he kills everyone, and then they're like, okay, we can't have you anymore. Then they're like, all right, let's take you back. So I'm interested to see what happens with the angels and if they really have this ulterior motive with Castiel. And then Crowley had a scene that made me go, holy shit, because they mentioned the two who are in the cage, Michael and Lucifer. I have been waiting for those guys to be mentioned for 5 seasons. I've waited for someone to mention them again. Sure, they were mentioned a little bit in Season 6 with Sam's soul, but the idea of them coming back, that would be sweet. So either way, the episode was a bit short. Actually, that was weird too. It ended at 9:53 for me, so that means it was shorter than most episodes. But we actually had a conversation between Dean and Sam talking about how they literally go around in circles with their stuff. And I was like, oh, okay. So what are they going to do? Sam sacrifices himself so Dean can get away. And I was like, well, okay. He really didn't learn anything, but something happened with Sam. And it wasn't like the Wendigo episode where he was immune. He is infected now. So what are we going to do? Anyway, so the season opener it had a lot of questions added to it, which was great because that means it really wants me to watch the rest of the season because I'm hooked now. I'm hooked on what the darkness is, especially with that little reveal at the end. That was sweet. I won't spoil that. I've spoiled a little bit already. I apologize for that. And I was very much interested in what Crowley was talking about with the cage. So, what are we going to see in the next episode? I don't know, but I have to say as interesting as this episode was, I admit I was actually looking more up about the tweets, about what people were watching. So it wasn't super engaging, but it did give me a lot of moments. So I'm going to rate this episode a 4 out of 7. It's a decent opener. Sure, could have been a little bit more action-packed because there wasn't really a lot of action that happened in this episode, but that doesn't matter. What they were going for in this episode was giving you a reason to come back, and they've hooked me. So anyway, guys, that's all for me. I'm going to try and review every single episode, and of course, I'm going to be a little bit late because all y'all off on the East Coast watch this 3 hours before I do, but once my school is over, maybe I can catch up. Anyway, guys, that's all for me. I hope you enjoyed this review, and yes, this is a gun teacup. Be jelly. See you later.